The girl on mile marker 237. I've always liked driving at night. There's a certain peace to it, the kind of silence you never get during the day when the highways are clogged with commuters and trucks. At night, the road belongs to you, and the steady hum of tires on asphalt is almost hypnotic. I've made long trips this way for years, coffee in a cup holder, radio low, headlights cutting through the dark. But that night, the desert felt different. I was headed west, somewhere past midnight, coasting along a stretch of highway so empty it felt like I'd slipped out of the world. The air was dry and the sky huge, a black canvas pricked with stars. My dashboard clock read 12:47 a.m. when I first saw her. A figure at the side of the road. I slowed instinctively, squinting through the windshield. She was just standing there, half turned toward the traffic lane. A girl, maybe in her late teens, barefoot, with long dark hair hanging over her shoulders. And the strangest detail, the thing that made my stomach clench, was her outfit. A thin white hospital gown. It fluttered in the wind like torn paper. I eased my foot off the gas, heart thudding. Out here, in the middle of nowhere, what could she be doing? There weren't any exits for miles. No houses. No towns. Just sand, rocks, and a stretch of blacktop disappearing into forever. My mind jumped to all the rational explanations: an accident, a runaway from some psychiatric ward, a prank. But there was something off about the way she just stared. Not waving for help. Not flagging me down. Just watching. I passed her slowly. In my rearview mirror, her figure receded into a smudge of white, swallowed by the dark. I told myself I'd stop at the next gas station and call the highway patrol. That was the right thing to do. But 10 minutes later, she was there again. Same girl. Same gown. Same stare. Only this time she was closer to the shoulder, the glow of my headlights bleaching her face until her features blurred. My chest tightened. I gripped the steering wheel so hard my knuckles whitened. This wasn't possible. I pressed the accelerator, heart hammering. My speed climbed to 70. Then 80. The highway was empty. I had it all to myself, but no matter how far I drove, the desert refused to change. Same rolling dunes, same low hills on the horizon, same empty stretch of blacktop unspooling ahead. And then, 10 minutes later, I saw her again. She was standing nearly on the edge of the road this time, her head tilted slightly, like a curious child watching an animal in a cage. The headlights painted her skin an unnatural pallor. I almost swerved into the other lane. Fear prickled the back of my neck, that primal sense that I was being stalked. My thoughts grew jagged, tripping over each other. Was she real? A hallucination? Exhaustion from too much coffee? That's when the passenger seat creaked. I froze. The sound was unmistakable. That tiny groan of old upholstery shifting under weight. I whipped my head to the right. Empty. Just the crumpled fast food bag I hadn't thrown out, and the faint glow of the dashboard lights. I laughed, short, shaky, too loud in the quiet car. My imagination was running wild. Long night drives could do that. I forced my eyes back to the road, refusing to look in the rearview mirror. but my skin crawled the entire time, every nerve telling me I wasn't alone. By mile marker 240, my rational side kicked in again. I told myself I needed to pull over, breathe, get my head straight. So when I spotted a rest stop sign, I took the exit. The place was deserted, a slab of cracked pavement with a single flickering light over the bathrooms. The vending machines hummed faintly, their glass fronts reflecting my headlights. I parked and killed the engine. Silence smothered everything. For a long moment, I just sat there, gripping the wheel, staring out at the endless dark. Finally, I climbed out. The desert air was cool, dry, carrying the faint scent of sagebrush. I walked toward the vending machines, digging in my pocket for change, desperate for the grounding normalcy of buying a candy bar. That's when I saw it. Scratched into the side of the machine, etched deep into the metal, were 4 words. Mile 237. She waits. My chest tightened. I stumbled backward, my coins clattering to the ground. A sound cut the air behind me. The creak of a car door. My car door. I spun around. The driver's side door was open. And something, was sitting inside. A pale shape, hunched forward, hair spilling across its face. The girl. I swear she turned her head toward me, and though her face was shadowed, I could feel her eyes lock onto mine. I bolted. Instinct took over. I sprinted across the lot, my footsteps echoing off cracked asphalt. I didn't look back. I couldn't. By the time I reached the edge of the lot, gasping for air, the desert had swallowed the rest stop in darkness. And when I turned, my car was gone. I walked. I don't know how long, minutes, hours, time unraveled. The highway stretched endless in both directions, no sign of headlights, no sound but the crunch of gravel under my shoes. And then I saw her again. She stood in the middle of the road, hair wild in the wind, the hem of her gown fluttering. Her face was clearer now, pale and bruised as though she'd been in an accident. Lips cracked. Eyes wide, unblinking. She raised one hand and pointed at me. I froze, heart rattling in my chest. The desert fell silent. Even the wind died. Then I heard it, the faintest echo, like a whisper on the air. My own name. I ran. I don't remember the next miles, only the blur of asphalt beneath me, the ragged gasps tearing out of my lungs. When exhaustion forced me to stop, I collapsed on the shoulder, trembling, sweat cooling on my skin. That's when I saw the lights. Headlights. Relief flooded me. I staggered into the lane, waving frantically, desperate for another human being. The car slowed, its beams washing over me. It was my car. The same dent in the bumper, the same crack in the windshield. And behind the wheel, me. Or something wearing my face. It smiled, slow and wrong, before driving past, its taillights shrinking into the dark. I don't remember falling asleep, but I woke lying in the desert sand, the horizon painted with the gray blush of dawn. My car was parked a few feet away, doors shut, engine off. I told myself it was a dream. Hallucination. Sleep deprivation. But when I slid into the driver's seat, The odometer had reset to 0. And scratched into the dashboard, faint but unmistakable, were 4 words. Mile 237. She waits. I drove on. Hours passed. The sun climbed. The desert changed with the light, shadows shifting, colors warming. For a while, I let myself believe it was over. But when the clock struck noon, I glanced in the mirror. She was sitting in the back seat, head tilted, watching. I don't think I ever left mile 237. I've passed the markers, seen them tick upward, 238, 239, 240, but the road always brings me back. Every loop ends at the same stretch of cracked asphalt, the same endless desert. And she's always there. Sometimes outside. Sometimes in the car. Sometimes staring from the roadside with that vacant expression that strips me down to nothing. I've tried pulling over, running, closing my eyes and praying when the seat creaks beside me. Nothing works. The desert highway isn't a place, it's a trap. A loop. A snare for souls like mine. I wasn't the first to see her. I wasn't even the first to die on this road. She's not haunting me. I've already joined her.